Hi everyone, welcome back to part 17 of my TemTem playthrough. Last episode we went ahead and explored corrupted Badlands, which was pretty cool. We had a lot of tamers over there as well as a couple new TemTems that we did catch. We were also able to find Noelin, who is the old man that we were set to talk to. And he did say that he is going to send out some people for our help. The next trip or the next place for me to go is move ahead and go to Quetzal, where we'll be able to find some smiths who will be able to repair our airship. Here we are, and as usual, here is my squad. Do ignore the last one, it's not in my team. Unfortunately, I did not have access to Temporium yet, so we will have to stick with a 6 team member. Here we are in Zealot Reservoir, which is actually a pretty huge area. And I think I'll be going ahead and trying to explore this as much as possible. Most of it is covered in water, so it won't be really accessible right now. But of course, the other places we can definitely go ahead and explore. Here are the first 2 tamers. Now most of these tamers in this region are either gonna be scavengers or people who are just trying to avoid scavengers. So we do have a couple more. Even though this area looks super huge, I think the only issue you would find are the number of tamers in this area. As for the TemTems, we do have a couple new. Now in the grass that is right next to us here, we'll only be able to find one more. But if we do go further down a bit, we'll be able to find a couple more. I believe we'll be able to find Scrunch and Toxlotl, which we did see once in yesterday's episode. I'm pretty excited for this. The battles are tough, but at least we'll be able to go ahead and get some experience. Now in any case, if you feel that your TemTems are low in health, you can go ahead and talk back to Noelin. I believe he will actually heal up your team members for you. That is pretty helpful. Thankfully I do have a lot of items, so I think I should be pretty good. Either way, it seems that we are doing pretty well in this battle right here. Just one more TemTem left. I think it will go down in my next turn. Unfortunately, it seems that Saku might go down. Let's see about that. Ooh, never mind. There we go. We have defeated our first 2 tamers. As usual, Zealot Reservoir actually looks super cool. I really like the red color water. Apparently, it's acid water and you actually won't be able to swim through it. So for now, I think we are stuck with this one. Hopefully, I'll be able to find my surfboard. After all, we definitely need it to cross over. Ooh, here is the TemTem that I was looking out for. I do have to be a bit careful. It seems that these days I'm just knocking out the TemTems instead of catching them. And this can be a bit of an issue, especially if the TemTem is pretty rare to find. Thankfully, in this case, this TemTem is pretty common, so I'm really not too worried. Either way, let me go ahead and try using my Tem cards. There we go, we were able to catch this one as well. Pretty good. Right. Moving on, it seems that we have to go through this circular path to actually go to the next area. Unfortunately, the other side of it was blocked. Up ahead we have 2 more tamers or 2 more scavengers. I sometimes do feel that this region is where the game kind of slows down. Once we do complete the storyline, which we have quite a lot, I believe we have a lot of items that will open up. There are a lot of side quests that might have some improvements in them, and if you really want to complete the side quests with the main storyline like I do, definitely go ahead and pick them up in between. It kind of gives you another perspective of this game. But of course, if you are only focusing on the main storyline, I think you wouldn't feel that the game is stopping. Either way, it's just depending on the choice. In this case, I think we'll be focusing on the main storyline in today's episode. After all, we have just come to this new area and there's definitely a lot more to explore. I'm pretty sure we'll have a couple of TemTems that we have yet to catch in the waters as well. But there we go. These two are defeated. Unfortunately, Saku did go down, so I do have to go ahead and heal it up. But for now, let me quickly exchange it. Going to the end, we have two optional trainers here. I guess they kind of assume that I'm a part of the scavengers and did attack me. Either way, that's alright. We can definitely calm them down with a battle and go from there. I mean, I'm not one for judging, but these guys were not even ready to listen to me. Alright, they do have Cheryl, which is pretty cool to see. Thankfully, I do have Anatan up in front. This should help a lot. Although my Tental is actually having some trouble keeping its own. One more TemTem left. Thankfully, it seems that most of these tamers have only 2 TemTems, which is much better. I mean, the more TemTems they have, the more difficult it becomes for us to defeat them. Either way, there we go. Now that we have defeated the optional tamers, I'm gonna go ahead and head down here where we have a bridge. We do seem to have a elderly man here whom we do convince and say that we have a couple of survivors. He does say us best of luck and we are on our way. The next tamer is right here, who is a clueless scout. I actually really like the outfits these scouts have. I believe we have seen one back in Dennis in the first dojo. These guys also have pretty tough TemTems and do give you a lot of experience, so it's definitely worth battling them. Although this one was super easy. He does seem to have Mashuk, which is actually the evolution of Mushi, which we have seen before. I wonder if we'll be able to find this TemTem in the wild at some point, or we would have to just evolve the one we have in our box. We also have a Oshiera, which is really cool. I really wish that I could have used Oshiera in my team, but after having Saipat for so long, I feel that Oshiera couldn't really match up to it. Either way, as long as Oshiera doesn't target Antan, I think I should be pretty good. I decided to go ahead and switch out Tental as it's much helpful to have Azuma up in front. Right. There we go. Anatan has recovered a bit of health and I think it should be able to take down Mashuk. Although I must say Chain Lightning did take it down. That's alright. We have one more TemTem left. Ooh, never mind. We don't. That's good. Moving on forward from this guy. He seems to be mentioning our name even though we never introduced ourselves. That's suspicious. Now the pathway here in the north is actually a dead end, but it does have a couple of items that I need to pick up. Although we do have a botanist here who is pretty angry with us for some reason. I mean, each of these people in Dukma have their own issues. After all, we have gone through 2 different regions and we really didn't see this kind of issues with the other 2. But here it seems that either people are just assuming stuff or they're just here to kind of loot us, which is really bad. I guess this makes sense. After all, Captain did warn us about the dangers of this region. Either way, it was pretty easy for me to actually defeat her. But here is the hidden item. I have mentioned this one in the last episode, but the items in these games are very much hidden. So go ahead and keep a lookout for them. Here it seems that we have a kid who seems to address to us as we are an old person, which is kind of offensive. But you know what, it's alright. After all, we are able to defeat her, so that should be a pretty good thing. She does have Bun Bun, which is actually a new TemTem that we have yet to see. It is a part Earth and Crystal TemTem and it's super powerful. Although I wouldn't kind of classify it as the best TemTem out there. We do have some others that are even better. But this one definitely knows how to deal with most of the toxic or crystal TemTems. So having one in your team can be pretty helpful. You'll also be able to find its evolution form in the next area. So do not worry about catching this one right here. Yes, another one who is called Cocky Wannabe. I am not sure what they were thinking about the names here, but alright. I mean, after all, he does have an attitude. He has a Scrunch and Fomu. Let's see how we can actually defeat them. Fomu does go down in one hit as it is at level 30. But Scrunch might give us a bit of a trouble. I did start with Chain Hit, which was pretty good. But I think I definitely have to be a bit careful on the next turn. I really thought Venomous Claw could have taken it down. But thankfully Antan is actually faster and we really didn't get any damage. There we go. That does prove that we are better. Here we have another item, which is a damage sticker. I've been collecting a lot more stickers these days and I'm planning to go back to Dennis to talk to the old lady who gave us the quest on the sticker. I remember she mentioned that we have to have at least 20 stickers before we go back to her. I believe I have at least 20 stickers now. But after we do collect all of the stickers from this whole region, we'll then be able to go back and talk to her. I also have to place the stickers on the album itself. I think it's super fun, but I do see people might actually think it's a bit irritating. After all, you do have a lot more stickers, around 200, and you would have to exactly find the shape of the sticker before placing it. Either way, we have defeated another tamer, one more left. And I actually got a encounter here, and this one for a Scrunch. Alright, let's go ahead and catch this TemTem as I've not yet caught it. I am trying to be a bit careful as to not knock it down. Thankfully, it seems to be in the perfect health. Trying to use my Tem cards. And we were able to catch it. Good. Alright. I really do not like wasting my Tem cards, especially if I know that I don't have any shops nearby. Either way, here's the last one, who is a Quadzillion teen boy. It seems to be that he has come from the underground city. We are heading our way over there. Hopefully we'll be able to go to the next dojo over there as well. He only has one TemTem, but this one's actually at level 43, which is super powerful. Unfortunately, it took down my Anatan. I should have known. But that's alright. We are just gonna try and take it down. Water type moves are pretty effective against it, so I would definitely recommend using one. Here we go. One hit and it did go down. Now that we have defeated all 4 of these really bratty kids, I think we can go ahead and get our rewards. We have 2 of them here, 2 Tem Card Plus and 2 Smoke Bombs. One more tamer left before I get a chance to go ahead and head out. Now this tamer here is actually Suge's intern. I wonder who Suge is. It seems that that person is pretty important for us as well. Let's see. But before that, we do have to definitely defeat her. She actually has a Bigu, which is the pre-evolution for, I believe, Babawa, which we have seen before. Unfortunately, the only way you'll be able to obtain Bigu is by breeding a Babawa. You have to make sure that your Babawa is a female, so that you'll actually get a Bigu when you do breed it. The breeding center is back in Nanga. You have probably seen it before. It's right next to Tihani's dojo. We also have a quest for getting a Bibawa, a Bigu in this case. So definitely go ahead and keep one ready. I'm pretty sure you would have already caught a Bibawa before. If not, you do have another location where you'll be able to find it. Thankfully, at the end, we are finally able to actually find a kind of temporium. I mean, it really is not a temporium, it's just a healing station. We really don't have an option to buy items yet. But at least we are able to heal up our TemTems much more faster. It also seems that this is actually a research station where they're actually conducting some kind of experiments. Also, by the way, if you're seeing my screen, I'm just looking into each of these newer TemTems that I have seen before. I did for a point thought that I might be able to use one of these TemTems in my team. Either way, moving on, we do see Suge here, who is, I guess, pretty cool with us. I mean, she doesn't seem to be kind of saying anything. Either way, I decided to go ahead and move on. After all, our final destination is Quetzal, which is the next town. Hopefully, I'm actually pronouncing the name of the town right. We also see a new TemTem here, who is actually a mental TemTem. Another chance to add a mental TemTem into your team if you haven't yet. Either way, let me be a bit more careful. I really do not want to take it down and want to catch it in the first turn. As for Mushi, I think it's time for me to just ignore it. Using one of my Tem cards, we are able to catch it pretty good. Accidentally, I did try catching the Mushi. As you might know, in this game, if you have two TemTems that are available, you are able to catch both of them, unlike the Pokemon games where it does force you to catch only one. Or maybe that was just in the older games. Here it seems that we have our first scout who has covered his face. I wonder why. He also seems to accuse us by saying that he is going to arrest us, which is suspicious. I'm really not sure what's happening. Hopefully we get some more details on this soon. Alright. Here goes down that TemTem that I did add in my team. This was just me briefly seeing how good it is or whether it's a good addition to my team. After this battle, I did figure out that having it in my team is really not going to help me as I need a Earth TemTem. So hopefully I'll be able to find a better addition to my team. I also need a digital TemTem, which might take me some time. Let's see how that goes. Either way, we are able to defeat the scout, who seems to be pretty angry with us. I wonder why. Here we have another beautiful maze with the grass. At the small dead end, we have two items. So let's go ahead and defeat this wanderer to get those items. I'm actually really not sure how far I will be going in this game. I mean, we are just halfway through. We still have a couple more tamers as well as couple more items or things that are supposed to happen in this game. Hopefully I'll be able to get a point where I'll be able to safely save up the game and heal up my TemTems. There we go. After defeating him, the items are a growth enhancer as well as balm plus. Two good items. I'll definitely take it. Even though I was trying to avoid the grass, for some reason I got an encounter over there. Here we do talk to a innocent Quetzalian until he actually gets hostile as soon as we do say our name. There's something suspicious happening where people are just assuming that we have done something wrong. I'm actually a bit worried about this. After all, we need help, and if people keep doubting us, it might make it even more difficult for us to get more help. Hopefully we get to know what is really happening over here. Now let's quickly go ahead and defeat the platypet. I actually used platypet in my team in the last playthrough, which I did offline. It is part water and toxic TemTem. Really tough and a really good addition to your team, especially if you haven't used Psypat like I did. I'm just looking around to make sure that I do not miss any of the items. Crossing over here, we have 2 hidden items, which is pretty nice. Alright, once we do get through this, we have our next tamer right here, who is another restless guard, who once again accuses us for some reason and is talking about arresting us. Alright, we better figure out what's happening before we get into even more trouble. Sadly, this guy has 2 ray cans, which is a bit scary. This is a full evolution and it can definitely do a lot more damage. Thankfully, Psypat here knows Tsunami, which should definitely deal more damage. Using it up, we are almost able to take both of them down. As for Antan, I went with Rampage, which is a move that hits both of the TemTems, just like Tsunami, and we were able to defeat them. That is actually a really good amount of experience right there. Either way, let me go ahead and move on forward. It seems that we have a huge patch of grass here. I'm also avoiding all of these encounters as we really do not have anything special. We also have a area to climb up over there on the ledge, which I think we'll do at some point. We have 2 more tamers here. Alright, let's go ahead and defeat them as well. At least one of them has not covered up his face, which is shocking. They both have a fully evolved TemTems. Saku is really not the TemTem to be up in front. Thankfully, I do have Gazuma. Hopefully, it will be able to do some damage. I think I'll go with Electric Storm, which should be pretty good. It seems that all of these battles are becoming more tougher and tougher. I might have to be a bit more careful. After all, losing your TemTems in this game is super easy. For some reason, I still have this TemTem in my team. I keep forgetting that I have to keep it back in the box. Ooh, we have another new TemTem here. Right, Nedgerseal, which I believe would be part nature and part toxic. Thankfully, I'm able to take it down without too much of an issue. Let's quickly go ahead and go to the town to see what really is happening, because this is really worrying me. I'm really not sure what to actually think about. After all, we have been mentioned a lot of more times where they're actually accusing us of making some kind of trouble. Well, here we have another commoner. She's not any kind of scout, but she does have a 2-eye, which is really cool. One more TemTem left to defeat. I believe she is the last tamer we have to go through. So I guess I'll just go ahead and defeat her. Move on forward. Hopefully we do find a Temporium and a shop. I feel like I'm running out of a lot of items and I definitely have to buy some. Either way, there we go. We are able to defeat her as well. Pretty cool. She doesn't seem to actually think that we are at fault, so I'm really not sure what is happening with those scouts. Moving forward, we go across and we are at Nahua crater. This is a small area that actually is the entrance to Quadzil. Picking up a damaged sticker here. If we go a bit forward, we are finally able to find a Temporium. Finally! I'll be able to buy some items, move out some of the TemTems, and I think this is a good place for me to end out this episode. In the next one, we'll be entering the city and see what actually is happening. After all, we are being accused of stuff we haven't yet done or would never do. Yep, that is the entrance. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.